Hi all, welcome back to the screencast. This video is going to be about the if-else statement. Now the basic if-else statement has this syntax: the if statement, then the condition. So let's say now this condition should be evaluated to either true or false. Then we have statements. This condition should be evaluated to true. If it is true, then this block gets executed. If this condition is evaluated to false, then this block gets executed. Now let's say you have a third condition. Now what will happen over here is, first, this both will get executed. I mean, a is less than 100 and b greater than 1. It will be evaluated to true, and true or c less than 100. So I do not want that. What I want is a should be less than 100 and either of these two conditions should be true. Then what I'll do is I'll have brackets so that the evaluation happens in a correct way. So when I have brackets, this condition is evaluated first and the whole output of this condition is and evaluated with an AND operator with a less than 100. So this is about operator precedency, and I highly encourage you to use brackets because the usage of brackets makes it less hassle to deal with the operator precedency. Now after the evaluation of the condition, we have a colon, which is a mandatory syntax for all these constructs that we'll see in Python. Then we have a block of statements. Now when we visually identify that this block belongs to the if statement, we can clearly have this logic. I'm sorry. We can clearly say that, okay, so every statement has four spaces. That is why they belong to the if block. The same logic is over here. Every statement has four spaces. That is why it is belonging to the else block. Now the four spaces are actually evaluated of the first statement that follows the if block, and it goes to the end of files, let's say, until it finds a statement which does not have four spaces. All of them belong to the parent if block. Now it reaches the else block which has zero spaces, and since else is a keyword in Python which is basically of the if else block, it has a colon. Then it will evaluate again the spaces. It will go down until it reaches the end of file, and for each statement that has these number of spaces prefixed, then they belong to the else block, right? So let's execute this. So obviously the if block got executed because a is less than 100 and b is greater than 1 or c is less than 100. So now if I put here and, then the else block will get executed. Okay, so that is the if else statement. Now we can have an if else if statement. Okay, now the else if statement is the elif here. So elif, let's say I want a is less than 100. Okay, I'll put or over here, and b greater than 1 and c less than 100. Okay. So what it will do here is, after this else if, the same condition will be evaluated. It is similar to the if statement. Then we have a colon. Then we have the number of spaces for the first line. Then uh, one, two, basically 1 plus 2 lines belong to the else if. Then we have the else block, and we have this block which belongs to the if else block. So let's execute this. So obviously the else block will be executed. Now what I need is, hmm. So a is less than 100 and b is greater than 1 or c is greater than 100. That is fine. Equal to 1 and b is greater than 1 and c equal to 0. Huh. So let's take a simple condition. I'm not able to identify what is wrong. Now say less c is greater than 100, c is less than 100, and so this will be c is equal to 100. So let's change this also. I'll remove this. Sorry, c greater than 100. Now you can see we are in the else block because c is equal to 100. Now, hmm. Oh, sorry. Oh, right. I was executing the incorrect state set. Shucks. I was executing this file when I'm editing this other file. I'm sorry. Yeah. So C is greater than 100. Now let's say C is 10.0 again. So C is less than 100. So this else if block got executed. Okay, so the else if is similar to the if, and it has indentation and it has a condition. Now the point over here, another point over here is, the if statement is the parent statement to else if and else. That means that you cannot have an else if or an else without an if. So if I comment out this, then this will be a syntax error because it is an invalid syntax. But this is true that you can have an if statement without an else if. Yeah, we can have it, right? The reason behind that is, if this condition is false, then it goes to the else if block. So if you do not have an if block, then it is basically invalid syntax. Now we can have multiple layers of indentation. So over here, say, uh, right. So now for scoping of this block, what will happen is after the colon, it will find out four spaces. It goes to below, 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 below. Then it will say, okay, this complete block belongs to the this if block. Then it will print this statement. Then it will go to this if statement. So it will say, okay, we have a fresh if statement over here. We'll evaluate the condition of the if statement. We have a colon and we have the scope. So since the and the spaces will be evaluated from this line, so like this. So for this if else block, the spaces will be evaluated from the if. So from here, so we have four spaces in addition to the four spaces. So just ignore, so you'll have to ignore this selected spaces. Okay, then what no in a better terms I'll say, when you have a colon, the block gets executed starting from I, the position of I, until it gets a non-space character. So this if block belongs to the parent if block, right? But this statement locally belongs to the if statement, which belongs to the global if statement. Similar with this else if, after this else if, it will find out the number of spaces which start, I mean, the starting point is the E until it gets a non-space character, and that print statement is going to belong. So this block belongs to the else if, and this block belongs to the else statement. Okay. Then we can have as many layers of nesting as we would like. There is no such thing as limited nesting. And since there is no switch statement in Python, the if else block is widely used. But what we need to take care while writing an if else block is the scoping, because it becomes difficult to understand if I mean you haphazardly write an if else block. So I'll suggest that we stick to having only 3 or 4 layers of indentation, and you should use a IDE or a good text editor with auto indenting feature. So that is it about the if else block. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next video.